This is the Supernova Building Guide, and today you're all deceived, cause another book Nook was made. Definitely my favorite book of all time is Lord of the Rings from J.R.R. Tolkien. And I'm also a huge fan from the movies because they use a lot of detail to build this world, and I especially like the architecture and style they used for the evil buildings from Mordor and Isengard. So enough reason to make a cool book Nook. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe because I have a lot more cool stuff I want to show you. Thanks. So first we're going to need a wooden box. On the back and on the sides we will have rocks. Here we will have some LEDs to simulate lava, and here on the front there will be the entrance. I'm going to divide the front into three parts. The first layer will be rocks, here will be the entrance, and here I'm going to make these tall spikes. And I'm only going to make the half of the spikes because in reality they are way longer, but they don't fit in this box and they wouldn't fit my bookcase. I could lower the entrance, but when the entrance is right here, you can see the LEDs and it will break immersion, so I'm not going to do that. And I also could scale everything down, but then the entrance will be so small you cannot see inside the volcano, so this is the way to go. I already added the bottom part to give more stability to the project, and I don't need to be afraid anymore to break this stuff when I actually build it. So next up we're going to start on these rocky walls, and for the rocks I'm going to use some tree bark, but I'm also going to use some rocks I made earlier with this rock molds. Every time when I do something with resin, with sculptor molds or with plaster, I have this thing laying around. So when I'm done with the project, I pour in the leftovers in this mold, and a few hours later I have these cool rocks for other projects. So right now I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to glue a mix of these on the walls. I gave all the wall parts a protective layer with some PVA glue, so I'm sure the plaster and the tree bark doesn't suck up any moisture in the next step. Because in the next step we're going to use some sculptor mold. Sculptor mold is this modeling compound made of plaster and paper fiber, and it gives you, when it's dry, a very strong and lightweight result. And when you add a lot of water you can make some very smooth surfaces, but for this project I'm going to add a little less water to get a more rocky, chunky paste, and we're going to use it to fill up all the crevices. This is going to be the front, and I'm going to glue these two pieces of spare foam on top so we get a nice 4 cm hallway. And now we're going to work on these spiky pillars right here. And these pillars look a little bit like fins from a shark. These one will be 2 cm wide and these in the middle will be 1 cm wide. And I'm going to start with making some rectangles. The black base coats are dry and now we can move over to the next phase, painting these rocks. For the rocks I'm going to do some dry brushing with some dark grey and lighter grey. And for these pillars I'm only going to use the dark grey because I really want them to stand out from the rocky surface. And everybody knows real pros dry brush with rainbow maker brushes. I was looking at my paint job and I just realized I totally forgot to make the bridge from inside Mount Doom. In the movies you can see the bridge with a lot of arches and pillars, but I'm not going to make that because it won't be visible anyway, so I'm just going for a straight bridge. I'm going to make this bridge with some foam and the rocky part will be this piece of tree bark. And I just measured everything and my bridge is going to be 5 centimeters. And as finishing touch, some mortar spiky bits. Next up I'm going to work on the lava and I'm going to use this LED strip for the lighting effects. I'm going to put it on in a zigzag pattern and this LED strip has some adhesive on the back, but it's not very strong, it's not very sticky. So I'm also going to use some glue on it to make sure it stays in place. The LEDs are in place and you can see how beautiful they light up the background, but there's also a bit of a problem, and that's the shadow on top of this bridge. When you look at the movies, all characters that have been on this bridge are very beautiful lit and they are not standing in any shadow. So to fix this issue I'm going to take some aluminum foil and I'm going to glue it on the inside of the entrance and also on the bottom of the roof, so I have more light bouncing around to light up my siren model. To show you the difference the aluminum foil makes, I've placed a dwarf model here on the bridge and here I have my roof. I'm going to put it on right now and you can clearly see the difference. Just a bit of aluminum foil gives a very subtle and soft lighting effect from above and it beautifully lights up the model. But right now we need to talk about the color of the LEDs. My LEDs are white, but the lava from the movie gives a very nice orange-yellow color. So to get the same effect, I'm going to use different kinds of plastic foil. I have some yellow, orange, red and even purple, and I'm going to mix and match them to get the perfect color. My friends, thank you for watching. And if you like this build, I'm pretty sure you're going to like this video, where I build a Lord of the Rings diorama where the Rohirrim is charging down into the Uruk-hai at the Battle of Helm's Deep. Now go out there and build a masterpiece.